Following the annexation of Austria to Nazi Germany in March 1938, the conquest and breakup of Czechoslovakia became Hitler's next ambition, which he obtained with the Munich Agreement in September 1938. Adolf Hitler justified the invasion by the purported suffering of the ethnic Germans living in these regions. The seizure of Sudetenland by Nazi Germany was detrimental to the future defense of Czechoslovakia, as the extensive Czechoslovak border fortifications were also located in the same area. The incorporation of the Sudetenland into Germany that began on October 1, 1938 left the rest of Czechoslovakia weak, and it became powerless to resist subsequent occupation. Moreover, a small northeastern part of the borderland region known as Silesia was occupied and annexed to Poland ostensibly to protect the local ethnic Polish community and as a result of previous territorial claims. Furthermore, by the First Vienna Award, Hungary received the southern territories of Slovakia and Carpathia and Ruthenia, which were largely inhabited by Hungarians. As the Slovak state was proclaimed on 14th of March, the next day Hungary occupied and annexed the remainder of Carpathia and Ruthenia, and the German Wehrmacht moved into the remainder of the Czech lands. At the very end of World War II, Prague suffered its share of extensive damage and loss of life. It was targeted by 3 air raids. First on November 15, 1944, then on February 14, 1945, and lastly on March 25, 1945. The air raids on Prague resulted in the loss of more than 1,200 lives, with the worst damage occurring on February 14, 1945. The American Air Force carried out an air raid over Prague, which ranks as the most futile attack on the Czech territory of the Second World War. 60 flying fortresses of the 8th American Air Force dropped about 152 tons of bombs on many populated parts of Prague. The attack took everyone by surprise. When the air raid siren went off shortly before midday, citizens of the capital did not take it seriously. They were used to such sirens. Allied air forces flew over Prague very often and had never attacked it before. Their target had always been Germany. So, on that fateful day, many Prague citizens did not even bother to run to shelters. Others had no time. The attack itself was over in just 5 minutes. U.S. Army planes from the 8th Army Air Force, flying in bad weather conditions with heavy cloud cover, overshot the intended target of Dresden and then mistook the Vltava River, which crosses through Prague, for the Elbe, which bisects Dresden. The American pilots who took part in the raid claimed afterward that it had been a terrible mistake. The weather was bad, it was cloudy, with very bad visibility. Their radar system broke down, and a side wind of up to 100 miles per hour carried them off their initial route by about 65 miles. But, wait a minute.
What?
What?
A mistake. U.S. militaries claimed that the radar on the planes had not been functioning properly, and high winds caused the dead reckoning, or rough mathematical estimate of distance, to be significantly off. Dresden is 120 kilometers northwest of Prague. The squadron was supposed to make a turn over the German town of Torgau, but instead turned over Freiburg. One navigator tried to point out the mistake, but his advice was ignored and he was warned not to break radio silence again. After the raid, other navigators also said they had hit the wrong target, but were unable to stop the raid without violating protocol. A pilot in the lead group of bombers, Lieutenant Andrew Andrejko, was of Czech descent. In comparison with other capitals like Budapest, Warsaw, and Berlin, Prague was spared the worst air attacks and remained mostly untouched. Memories are fading, and apart from a few old people who remember the attack, today not many people still ask why the American Air Force bombed a nation that, despite being occupied, was on their own side. Thank you for watching. Please don't forget to subscribe to our channel.